Good evening. This is Shelby Williams with Plano City Council, and I'm doing tonight's recap in landscape mode and on Veterans Day. First, I want to give a big thank you and recognition to all our veterans across America. What you do is so important for everything we do, and it allows us to engage in this process in the first place. So thank you from the bottom of our hearts. Tonight's meeting started with a preliminary open meeting. We had a presentation by the Communications and Community Outreach Department, a report that discussed newsletter subscriptions, social media, and the biggest item that we discussed was the proposal of a listening tour for each of our 8 council members, including the mayor, to have a single session out in the community where citizens can come and just ask open questions, pepper us. There was great feedback on that, and whether or not it's formally adopted by the council, I'm going to do it myself. That's a promise. Second thing we discussed was homeless efforts and programs. In 2019, in a survey, we had 248 total homeless individuals in Plano. 145 were sheltered on the date of the survey, 103 were unsheltered. Now, one of the things that stuck out to me is that 70% had jobs of some sort. 1/3 of all of our homeless population had full-time jobs. So there are a number of reasons why folks become homeless. Mental illness affects many, addiction affects others, sometimes both, but there are a number of people who were living paycheck to paycheck and just fell off the precipice. And once you're there, as Councilman Rick Grady pointed out, it is nearly impossible to get out. So the city of Plano has a number of fantastic programs to enable those who are homeless to climb out of it, not just providing emergency shelter and food, but actually connecting them with services, not just giving them a list and saying good luck, but making the actual connection to services that can make a real difference in their life. And then perhaps most importantly, preventing homelessness in the first place. So important. Then we moved on to our regular meeting. We proclaimed today to be Veterans Day in Plano. We're about 65 years too late for that. It was already proclaimed Veterans Day and Armistice Day 101 years ago. Not really 100 years. Yeah, 101 years ago. We also proclaimed next week Homeless Awareness Week. Now we moved into the nitty-gritty. We passed the resolution that creates the new Citizens Ad Hoc Comprehensive Plan Review Committee. After much negotiation and discussion on the dais, we ended with an agreement that anything that is passed by 75% of the 16 members of the ad hoc committee, and then by a simple majority of planning and zoning, would come before council for consideration. The scope of the ad hoc committee will be the comprehensive plan review process, and its role will be to provide input and feedback. The ad hoc committee will not be creating the plan, it will be heavily informing the plan. Providing input, listening to citizens. It is really meant to reflect the will of the community. We did allocate up to, not over, and hopefully well under $1 million to the effort. Now, some folks have asked me what this gets us. Why are we investing another $1 million in this? The answer is objectivity. The current comprehensive plan, Plano Tomorrow, has caused such a deep division in our community. We need, as we move forward to a new comprehensive plan, which is going to carry us to the year 2050, objectivity. We need somebody who does not already have a preconceived notion of what this city is supposed to look like, guiding the process. Not creating the plan, but guiding the process whereby the plan is created. And that, with the ad hoc committee, is meant to reflect the overwhelming majority of our residents. Next, we made the actual appointments to the ad hoc review committee. So I want to congratulate the following 16 people who were appointed by council tonight to serve on the ad hoc committee. Jeff Beckley, Michael Lynn, Mike Bronski, Jim Dillevue, Doug Shockey, Jackie Crawford, Mary Jacobs, GJ Liu, Larry Howe, Hilton Kong, Aaron Doherty, Carolyn Doyle, Sarah Wilson, Salvatore Lamastra, Shinyi Gong, and Yoram Sullivan. I expect great things from this committee because it is reflective of our community. Lastly, the last item on the agenda was to cast the City of Plano's votes for the nominee to represent us for the board position on the Collins Central Appraisal District. Wayne Coltrane received all 307 votes cast by the city of Plano. I believe that's out of 5,000 total votes in Collin County. So those final votes will be tabulated and appointments made in December for board appointments to start January 1st of next year. This was a pretty light evening despite all the discussion about the ad hoc committee. So the update today is only about 5-6 minutes, but I encourage you to stay tuned, stay updated, and above all, stay engaged. Thank you again to our veterans. Good night and God bless.